Hello everybody, welcome to my channel and welcome to my very first speed build on this channel. I'm really excited about it. It's actually basically my first build, full build ever. Usually I either go on the gallery and download something, or I use a pre-made Max's house and just expand it as needed. But this is the first house I ever really put some thought into. So I am super excited and I hope you like it. It's a Gothic Victorian style, and of course I put it in Forgotten Hollow because where else would it fit so perfectly, I guess, aside from the Goth house in Willow Creek. But yeah, so I don't really know where the inspiration for this one came from. I did Google some photos of Gothic Victorian homes, and that's kind of where I got the general shape. But I don't know really how the idea popped into my head. I do know that I'm going to possibly use it for like a mini Let's Play series, something a little more sinister than my typical Let's Plays. I'm kind of excited about it. We'll see if I end up doing it or not. I don't know. And then, yeah, so basically you just see me like struggle bussing here. The roofing was the hardest. I've never used like the octagonal or like the irregular kind of shaped roofs before, so I definitely struggled with that. Roofing in general is such a pain. Like, was it The Sims 3 or did all the Sims games before this one have the auto roof function? I always relied on that. So this is the first Sims game where I couldn't rely on an auto roof. And I've been playing The Sims for like probably 15 or 16 years, definitely since the first one came out. So yeah, I really want the auto roof. So especially here, like this part with just the diagonal walls, like it was such a pain. I tried like 4 different things and I'm still not 100% happy with how it turned out, but you know, you can only do so much. I also will definitely be putting this build on the gallery, so if you do want to download it, it will be there. My username is LadyAndrak, and actually you can find me under that username on just about every social media, Twitter, Instagram, obviously YouTube. I do have a Twitch account too, and I do plan on streaming at some point in the new year. Although I kind of want to get a second monitor first because I think with just one monitor it'd be really hard to play a game and like keep track of everything that's going on. So another thing about this build is that it kind of pushed me, besides building in general, it really pushed me out of my comfort zone. I used a lot of things that I never use in the game. Like for instance, that freeze, that big giant black freeze, like I never use those in my games, especially those big ones. Columns, I rarely use. Really anything from the Vampire Stuff Pack. I love or not Stuff Pack, the Vampire Game Pack. I love the Vampire Game Pack. I do not love vampires. I love the build and buy mode items that came with it. It's such a nice like look to it. I just never use it, right? So here I am, of course, struggling with a roof again on the porch. I figure it out eventually, don't worry. Oh my gosh, roofs just like, they really like, ugh, I hate them so much. And yeah, and I'm just like, I just played around kind of until it just looked how I wanted it to look. And I think I'm gonna start, yeah, like, what am I doing now? I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, oh yeah, I'm putting windows on. So, okay, so there are a ton of windows on this build, and there's a reason for that. I wanted this house to like definitely have the appearance of being maybe haunted or just really creepy in general, but it's one of those houses where you're driving by and there's so many windows that you just have that feeling that someone must be looking back at you. Like out of one of those windows you think you might see a face or like a ghostly figure, but that is why I put so many windows on there, because to me that's creepy. Like I don't know if anyone shares that sentiment, but I think it's creepy. And yeah, and this house is absolutely haunted. I didn't give it the haunted trait, and I should. I'm gonna go give it the haunted trait if I remember before I upload it to the gallery, but yeah, it's definitely got some otherworldly residents living in it. But I do like, if I had to guess And you'll maybe kind of get that when we get to the interior because I actually didn't go too in depth with the interior. Just because I figure, I mean, when I download houses off the gallery, I usually get them anyway and do my own thing. So, yeah, but the people that live here, I kind of imagine them being like a little bit odd, eccentric, maybe yeah, I mean, you kind of have to be. I mean, you'll see like I start putting cracks in the walls and stains and cobwebs and all that sorts of thing. And to live in that house without wanting to fix it up, I feel like you might be a little eccentric. And there's definitely nothing wrong with that. So, um, man, this is hard. I've never had to just like sit here and talk about my build. This is so, this is different for me. This is a learning curve, guys. Um, let's see, what am I doing now? Yeah, I shortened the wall height on the tower because it was a little tall and it looked a little weird when I actually looked at it. It took me forever to figure out where to put the stairs, and now I'm going to start the interior, and you'll probably see me add and delete things a couple times. I'm not totally happy with the interior, but again, I kind of wanted to go with this very strange, like, it's just an odd layout, and that's okay because I feel like the people who live here obviously wanted it to be like that, like perhaps that they've lived here for many generations, and that's just when they built it, that's what they wanted. So, um, like the downstairs bathroom is like a little odd, and it just, I don't know. It's just creepy and weird. I would never live here in a million years. You could not pay me to live in a house like this. I lived in a haunted house once, but I'm not gonna like go into that whole story because like not everyone believes in ghosts, and that's okay. But I totally did live in a haunted house for like 9 months. I didn't even last the entire like lease term. It was so so terrible. Yeah, so I have in the flooring. The bathroom, I kind of went with one of the vampire tiles. Like again, something that I never use. And I still don't know how I really feel about it, but again, I'm not living in this house. These other people are living in this house. Also, these stupid freezes, like, I could. Every time I, like, moved around the house, I noticed a place that I forgot to put one. Like, I do not understand how they could just, like, constantly be not there. I don't know if they just disappeared on me or if I just simply did not put them there. Yay, we're gonna start furnishing maybe a little bit. I don't know. That first room is just like an entry, like that's literally all it is. The kitchen and the dining room are combined into one, and I think most of what I use is from the Vampire Stuff Pack. The kitchen, definitely. I used the fridge from Jungle Adventure because it kind of had a more old-fashioned look to it. I can't remember what stove I used. I think it was just a base game stove maybe, but originally I had that one that looked kind of like a wood-burning stove, but I did take it away because I kind of didn't think that it ultimately went with the aesthetic that I had going on in the kitchen. So, um, I also struggled a lot like with wallpaper. Normally I just use paint. Like I don't ever put actual wallpaper up, but I really wanted to push myself outside my comfort zone. So now we have wallpaper and I still don't know how I feel about it. Like, yeah, in all the bathrooms, like there is not a shower in this house. We only have like clawfoot bathtubs, which I think is totally cool. I think clawfoot bathtubs look so cool. And it still went with that like old-fashioned kind of vibe to me. So, oh, there I'm changing the stove to something. It's modern, but I think it goes a lot better with the look of the kitchen. I also throw in like paint scratches, watermarks, cracks in the walls. Oh God, now we're doing the stupid like dining room table. The one that you see here and the one that I like put here does not stay because it just looks so bad. That's the vampire one from the Vampires pack, and I hate it. It just looks so bad. So in a minute here, we do change that out. And then I did add an island because it was looking a little bare in the middle of the kitchen. I didn't really know what else to put in there. The room was a little big. I feel like I'm probably forgetting. I do see that I forgot a garbage can, so that's something that you'll have to put in yourself, or if I remember, I will pop one in before I upload it to the gallery as well. So here's our final table. I pushed it up against the window. I think it probably, in reality, it would have made more sense to have this really big, grand dining room, but I had already made the layout. I wasn't going back to fix it, so I shoved the dining room in the kitchen. No big deal. And then I put in some new light fixtures as well that looked a lot more like Victorian, old-fashioned, dungeony. Okay, so that mirror that I'm trying to place right now, they need to fix that sheet so you can lower things to the ground. Because you can make that mirror go higher with the Move Objects On sheet, but you cannot make it go lower. And I really needed it to be lower because I don't know why that season's mirror is so freaking high up. Yay, now the living room! I ended up not putting a TV in here because it did not fit the aesthetic, so instead I put some really expensive painting. And again, here we are using objects that I never use. I prefer a more modern, cozy look. Like, to me, this is so formal. Like, you wouldn't, I just don't think I would be comfortable in here. Like, I would feel like I couldn't touch anything, like I couldn't, like, relax. It's just the straight backs and the lack of cushions and the lack of color, and it's not for me. And then I love that fairy gargoyle. Like, that is one of my favorite things that came in the pack. I love it. And I added an easel and a bookcase. I was going to try to add some plants in there, but I didn't really like any of them. None of them really fit what I was going for. Of course, we have our computer, because we need some sort of entertainment in this house. And then I also switched out the rug, so this rug matches the one that's in the entryway. I just sized it up a little bit so that it fit underneath everything. Yeah, so we are getting close to the end here, adding some more lights. I love the candle lights. I kept them mostly on the ground floor. On the upper floor, I think we have just regular lights, again with the clawfoot tub. Most of the bathrooms are the same. I think when we get to the screenshots, I didn't even add screenshots of the bathroom because to me, it's not important. The master bedroom, which is the bathroom I'm working on now, that is only a half bath. Don't ask me why. It fit here and I put it there, okay? Would I have liked a full bath there? Yeah, but it didn't work, so it is what it is. I didn't want to shove everything in there. So this house does have 4 bedrooms. I put 2 single bedrooms and then I have 2 with the double beds. Obviously, you could mix and match as you feel you need to. I tried to make the 2 single bedrooms more like kid friendly. I added some stuffed animals and some toys and little desks and stuff. And here I am adding curtains, which this game desperately needs better curtains. So some of the rooms have curtains, some of them don't. Some of them have ridiculous curtains. But I don't care. Like I said, the family that lives here is probably a little eccentric, and they probably just put up whatever they like, and whether it looks good to the seasoned eye or not. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to do the foundation. I always struggle with this too. Like, I couldn't find anything I truly really liked with the color. I did put the candles, I guess, in the upstairs hallway, but every bedroom and the bathroom got like just a regular light fixture. And then, of course, I did change some wallpaper in the bedrooms because there was an awful lot. Like, I love purple, but there was an awful lot of purple. Oh, and that little skull teddy bear that you just saw, that is my favorite. I think it came from Spooky Day stuff pack. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure. And it is my favorite. Like, oh my gosh, I want it in real life, and I don't know why I'm so obsessed with it, but I am. So this bedroom, I kept the purple, but I kept kind of the furniture a little bit lighter. The entire house is very, very dark. Like, in the screenshots, I had to lighten them up a little bit just because it was so dark and dreary. Like, it just looked so depressing. And now, like, one of my favorite parts of this house is that it has a little pond outside, like this murky, gross, mossy pond. I lined it all with rocks so it looks more natural and you can't see the outline, and I did cut a bunch of that out because this took a while. Like it probably would have taken 5 minutes sped up. So as you can see, I cut a lot of it out, and then I added some moss and some reeds just to make it look you know, a little more icky, and I don't know, I just really love the way it looks. Then I added some dead looking trees, which I love too. And then I also added a little graveyard here in the back. And when I do the Let's Play that I'm planning on, we might be adding some graves to that graveyard. So you'll have to stay tuned. I'm not for sure. Like, don't quote me that I'm actually going to do it this way. I might do something else. But yeah, so I'm just putting a few finishing touches here. You know, I mean, as you can see, it's not overly detailed, and I did that by design. So we're starting to wrap up here, so I'm actually gonna say goodbye as we go into some screenshots. I do hope you enjoyed this build. Don't forget it's on the gallery if you do want to download it. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I do post new videos every day at noon Eastern time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.